Chances are you've seen enough sci-fi movies to be fascinated with the idea of living life in space. Whether on a different planet or even on a different galaxy, exploring the wonders of living in a world different from ours is a grand concept that has been explored both in educational videos like Vsauce and imaginative sagas like Star Wars. We were all kids once, and surely some of us have dreamt of the day that planetary travel is possible. But just how likely is it for a human to live a thriving life outside of Earth? And could it happen within our lifetime? Well, thanks to Elon Musk, it is finally possible to make the ultimate sci-fi dream a reality. The marveled billionaire, who has been compared to the great fictional Tony Stark, has dedicated his life to the future and technology. When he's not busy devoting his time to his 5 sons and centering his love life on finding his very own Pepper Potts, Musk focuses in on accomplishing a monumental goal: to build a thriving colony on Mars with a population of 1 million people by the year 2050. But can Elon Musk build a Mars city within this time frame? Well, while only time can tell, we can form our own hypothesis based on what we know of Mars, Musk, and what factors we have to keep in mind as he continues this project. Alright, what do we know about Mars so far? Let's start with the geology. From the intelligence we've gathered over the years, we know that our planet of interest has appealing elements like polar ice caps, underground liquid water, large valleys, as well as oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, sulfur, and carbon. So we have all the right stuff, right? What are we waiting for? What's stopping us from jetting over there right now? Well, plenty of things, actually. First, looking at Mars' red surface caused by the iron oxide on the planet, one would think of it as a rather hot planet. Not so. It's pretty cold down there. Average weather forecasts are a high of 70 degrees Fahrenheit, or 20 degrees Celsius, to a low of minus 225 degrees Fahrenheit, or minus 153 degrees Celsius. Two contributing factors to such weather include its distance being further from the Sun than Earth, and Mars' thin atmosphere, which causes heat to be able to escape the planet easily. And you can forget about taking off your space helmet to breathe in any fresh air. That thin atmosphere is made of mostly carbon dioxide. Quick fun fact: in 50 million years, one of Mars' 2 moons, Phobos, will crash into Mars and break apart into many pieces. This will make a ring around the planet, much like the rings of Saturn. Okay, so there is clearly a lot to think about. Many obstacles are in the way. But if there's one thing we know about Elon Musk, it's that he is one heck of a problem solver. He is the one to look at the cosmic unknown in the eye and focus only on the possibilities. So what are the elements of colonization that he's already thought about? What can we count on in terms of finding a way to build this colony by 2050? One thing about Musk is that his actions have proved his determination. You ought to see the way he showboats his technological advances by launching 2 rockets only to have them land back on Earth in harmony. The synchronization is astounding. But what are some things Elon needs to keep in mind with his Mars colony project? How about when NASA and Blue Orbit do end up sending their own colony of people there? Michael from Vsauce once asked in his video dedicated to National Geographic series Mars, touched on what kind of laws people would follow on Mars. But suppose laws were followed based on who sent the people up there. In other words, corporations like SpaceX, NASA, and Blue Orbit could implement their own laws to each of their own Mars colonies. They could even have their own countries formed based on this logic. Would Elon Musk end up their monarch making all the rules, or would laws be made by the first people to be put up there by him? And what about the fact that Elon Musk hopes to beat NASA and Blue Orbit in the Mars colonization project by being the first to succeed? Could it be that he hopes to establish his own laws only for other incoming colonies to follow? Hopefully by 2050, we can see for ourselves. And who would Elon Musk send up there? Obviously, for such a galactic endeavor, Musk would have to crawl before he walks by sending a small group of people up there before he can even think about sending 1 million people. And he knows this as a goal of his. He plans on sending a small group over to the Red Planet by 2026 at the latest. He also plans on bringing said group back for examination in order to see the effects that living on Mars has on humanity. So Musk is thinking things through and is being cautious. And who would the 1 million people in this colony consist of? We would need the essentials of human civilization. These essentials would include scientists, construction workers, people of the law such as officers and lawyers, medics, and farmers who are psychologically capable of staying up there. They would have to be extremely talented to be able to do their jobs and have a lot of patience, especially when they have to be cooped up inside an enclosed structure and in a spacesuit all the time. There's simply no way to be able to go outside in Mars with all of that carbon dioxide. Forget COVID-19. Being on Mars is a whole new level of quarantine. What about the expenses? Well, unless Elon Musk fulfills his goal of mining that $700 quintillion gold asteroid, money may be a complicated issue. Musk has to account for all the ships we would need to send up there filled with the resources that will be needed until the colony can grow their own food and refine the mineral on Mars. And he actually has. According to a tweet of his, Musk kept in mind the amount of starships needed as well as how many people per travel window would be sent. Quote, "Building 100 starships per year gets to 1,000 in 10 years or 100 megatons per year or maybe around 100,000 people per Earth-Mars orbital sync." End quote. According to Insane Curiosity, it has also been estimated that building a colony in a decent amount of time would take around 50 to 100 years. That doesn't exactly meet the 2050 deadline Musk hoped for. Yet, when a fan asked him if we could really send 1 million people to Mars by 2050, Musk still held the confidence to say yes. However, Musk has definitely received his share of naysayers, with hearing how former Apollo 11 astronauts Neil Armstrong and Eugene Cernan spoke against commercial spaceflight, a goal that Musk has been trying to achieve. People like Armstrong and Cernan fear SpaceX's inexperience as well as the cost of the public safety and taxpayer dollars. This hit him hard as they were his heroes and inspirations for developing commercial spaceflight in the first place. Musk said he hopes that they would one day see the hard work being put into this project. For such a grand goal of planetary colonization, we need to be careful. Being quick about settling on the Red Planet may seem efficient, but can be very dangerous. Anything can go wrong, like rocket malfunctions can become as catastrophic as the Titanic on her maiden voyage. Unexpected psychological breakdowns can go under the radar of initial testing on Earth, or a breach in the enclosed base could cause the suffocation of every member of the colony. This is why Musk and other space travel prospectors need to take their time with such endeavors. Sure, a lot of us in our generation would love to see our fellow man become official Martian citizens, but it's safe to say that we would rather have safe travels for our future generations than disastrous ones that could happen within our own if we're not careful. Remember how long it took for humanity to go from hunter-gatherer times to where we are now? We have successfully sent men to the moon with the time and dedication given to intergalactic travel thus far. If we set our sights on Mars, it will likely happen, but with time and effort. So while a Mars colony being possible as late as 2050 is an ideal situation, we may need those 50 to 100 years to think everything through and make sure that getting to our new red home is nothing but smooth sailing.